This is it. I won't let you go.
Is it as bad as it looks?
Yes.
Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1 releases in just a week, and you may be wondering, why have I not talked about this movie at all? It's not because the trailer is bad or anything, the trailer is actually quite good, it's just I'm pretty scared for this movie just because of the past few Tomorrowverse entries. Crisis on Infinite Earths Parts 1, 2, and 3 will be the conclusion to the Tomorrowverse, this continuity of films. And any time you adapt a story on the level of A Crisis on Infinite Earths, there is inherently a lot of pressure to deliver there. And it doesn't really help that I believe the last great animated Justice League film that WB Animation has made is Justice League Gods and Monsters, which came out in 2015, 9 years ago. But also, when it does come to these big adaptations, they have kind of delivered the past 6 years or so, aside from Batman Hush, because I feel we were all disappointed with that film. I believe, although they were Elseworlds films, Gotham by Gaslight and Red Sun delivered for me personally. Then my two favorite DC comic adaptations, two animated movies, post The Dark Knight Returns, Death of Superman, and Batman The Long Halloween, which is in the same continuity of films with Crisis on Infinite Earths, both in their own right delivered. I think Long Halloween is the strongest entry in the Tomorrowverse so far. It's a two-part film. And seeing what has come after the Long Halloween, I'm wondering if it being two parts is what helped it be so much better than what came after. So what I'm really hoping for is that Crisis on Infinite Earths, being a three-part film, really keeps the writers and the producers away from making a lot of bonehead decisions and cramming a lot of unneeded stuff into a movie that makes it feel overpacked, unnatural, unbalanced, with moments there that are just more or less meant for shock value, that carry no emotion with the viewer whatsoever. I feel that's essentially been the Tomorrowverse since after the Long Halloween. Every movie between the Long Halloween to now has been frustrating in one way or the other for me, and a lot of it is just the same issues. They haven't learned from their mistakes, and I'm hoping that Crisis on Infinite Earths proves me wrong with that statement. I hope they don't make the same mistakes they have been, because that would be so disappointing. So disappointing. Don't do that, WB Animation. Don't fucking do that. Do not ruin a story like Crisis on Infinite Earths for the love of God. I really am rooting for this film. I'm just so scared because I've talked about it over the years on the channel. The quality in these DC animated movies has gone down so much. Overall, we get, a pretty great one every now and then, but we used to always get good movies. You could bank on a good film when it came to a DC animated movie. You can't do that anymore. And it is just kind of sad seeing, what this sub-franchise of DC used to be.
Something's about to happen. Something major.
But since people have asked, I will talk about the trailer just briefly here. More or less picks up where Warworld ended with the setup for Crisis. Waves of energy are wiping out universes. The Monitor is gathering heroes from across the multiple remaining universes. I thought it was really cool that we saw the Crime Syndicate. I think it's pretty awesome that they'll be in this movie. We better see some Alban. He is by far the best character in that group. Lex is draining the powers from the Justice League. You briefly see the Bat Family, Robin and Huntress at least. There are hundreds of DC characters you see in this trailer. It is Crisis on Infinite Earths. We are going to get several different versions of several different characters, and it's a no-brainer to bring back several versions of characters we've already seen in the past in animation. There's countless one-off versions. Then you have the DC animated movie universe, the DC animated universe, which was a TV universe. There's been so many DC animated shows and movies throughout the years. It would be such a missed opportunity if we didn't get cameos like that, or even big players in the story that are like that. We are getting the Crime Syndicate. That is pretty cool. We saw them in Crisis on Two Earths. I mean, I doubt this is the same Crime Syndicate, but still, it's cool seeing them. And before I get into the last thing I kind of want to talk about when it comes to this movie, I just want to give them some flowers for really making Flash feel like the linchpin of this story. If you are a DC fan, you probably know one of the most iconic comic deaths of all time is Barry Allen. And big reason is that it happened in the story Crisis on Infinite Earths, but also that he stayed dead for a really, really long time, which doesn't usually happen in comics. Main point being, the heroes win in the end because of Barry's sacrifice. So, in my personal opinion, I think the main character of the story has to be Barry Allen. There's no one else you can put in that spot, front and center, besides the Flash. And I'm hoping for some sort of payoff to Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which might just be silly of me at this point. But looking back at everything, the Tomorrowverse is an outcome of that film and what happened with the DC animated movie universe. I'm going to be disappointed if we don't revisit the DC animated movie universe whatsoever, because it's the only other universe that has connective tissue to the Tomorrowverse. And this is your chance right here. Crisis on Infinite Earths, the perfect excuse. We can revisit that universe. We can get those fucked up versions of those characters that survived at the end of Apocalypse War. If Constantine isn't in this movie, the man with memories from both timelines, that's going to be a missed opportunity. There's a lot they can do here, and I'm really just hoping that they make the right choices this time. If the Tomorrowverse doesn't wind up paying off the events of Apocalypse War and the DC animated movie universe, what was the point? What was the point of this continuity of films if it's not going to take advantage of that? And more importantly, what is the point of this universe getting a story like Crisis on Infinite Earths if it doesn't connect to bigger things in previous installments in previous DC animated universes? That's my overall thoughts on the three-part event that will be Crisis on Infinite Earths this year in 2024. I am hoping it's great. Just based on the Tomorrowverse's track record, I'm not too sure if it will be. I am going into this film pretty cautious and wary, and not with the highest of hopes, which I wish I had higher hopes for this. I really do. And I still have hope for it, don't get me wrong. I think this thing could end up being great. Who knows? Maybe they just pull one out of their ass and it's amazing. Maybe the past few Tomorrowverse entries haven't been that strong because all of their best writers, their best workers were working on this movie. I don't know, man. I just hope it's good. Let me know what you thought about the trailer down in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts of this movie and the Tomorrowverse as a whole are. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Sound off in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot. I will see you guys next time.